How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Off the Top with Eric, Paris, and Red. I am one of your hosts, Eric, and joining me tonight, as always, are
Your boy P.
And your boy Red.
what's up, fellas? Episode 55.
55.
5 crits. I know I'm playing. We blood over here. So no. We are
Man,
a non-affiliated podcast, okay?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what have you guys been up to this week? What have you been
Uh
playing?
what the
Movies,
fuck have I been
whatever.
doing?
Yard work for me.
Yard work.
Home
I,
equity
okay.
or sweat equity. So,
That
I
grown
was
man
fucking
tip.
with that movie, Divorced in the Dark.
Tyler Perry
Pretty
one.
terrible movie. I ain't gonna lie. The motherfucker. Okay, so it starts off. I'm gonna just run into this shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. The motherfucking kid died first, right? One of the brothers died, right? He's having his funeral. The pastor's daughter is dating the brother of the deceased, right?
Hmm.
And we got this old mafia boss, country bunking ass mama, bro. Y'all not doing right by my son. Take him out the motherfucking casket and bury him in the backyard. And I was like, wait, what?
When is this
Too
movie
far
taking
from me.
place?
It's like in the South, like Georgia, Atlanta
No,
area.
like what year?
Current.
Oh
That's
shit.
what I.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I'm watching this movie, right? And I'm looking, and I was like, yo, is this movie old? Because his hairstyle, the main dude hairstyle is always like a mini baby fro with these lamb chops. And I'm like, she told me that was his signature hairstyle, like for life as a person. And I was
Hmm.
like, damn, I never knew. So I watched it and I said, yeah, this is an old country movie. Got to be the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Bro, she pulled up with a Kia Stinger. And I was like, huh? No, this can't be right. Then the outfits was a hella modern. And I was like, oh, she just country as hell, like deep root southern country. But that mama was, you know how I be like small town and you got your hood people. And the rest of the city is just like regular everyday folks.
Yeah.
yeah.
The mama was on that type of time, like y'all never loved us, y'all never liked us, y'all look down on us, y'all give us hand-me-downs. But they kids are literally like the drug dealers, the people that murder people, the
Yeah.
rapists come out of there, and out of that family type shit. But that mama was she did not see the issues of her family. You feel
Hmm.
me? We
Mm-hmm.
get off my land before we rape you and murder you type
Yeah.
shit.
Damn.
And I'm
All right.
like, Jesus, lady,
Yeah.
relax.
Damn.
Yeah. But
So one
it,
out of five
uh
or zero
over
out of
you
five.
know how Tyler Perry do his movies, bro. Over dramatic as fuck.
Oh my god.
Every movie is you got a good woman or a good man, a terrible first husband, first wife, and then the savior comes in and they just had the best fucking life they ever had ever.
Hmm.
It's rinse and repeat. Same fucking movie every time. So
Yeah, I
2.5.
we talked about Acrimony a couple weeks ago, and I had
Mm-hmm.
never seen it,
You saw it?
but I did. I wish I didn't. That movie is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I
Damn.
really like. I was watching this, and I was like, "We spent 45 minutes talking about this on the pod." It was not
Yeah.
good, but like yeah, like what you're saying, like that really over like dramatic like the sisters in that movie are like cartoonishly evil. Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
if some of the things weren't so over dramatic, it'd be a little more a little gray area. Hard for you to
Mm-hmm.
pick which one's right, which one's bad. But the way that some of the things are in that movie, like yeah, Tyler Perry. Sorry, not one of my favorite directors of all time.
I mean, but you see how it could have been a shorter movie if he would have just like, oh, all right, well, I'm a millionaire now. Let's get back together. But she was still stuck in her ways, and she said, "Fuck all that."
Yeah,
Yeah, she
definitely a
did.
motive. And from what I heard, like behind the scenes stuff, apparently Taraji P Henson filmed that movie in like a week. Like apparently it was a very very short shooting schedule for her. So I can kind of
Mm.
understand like it being like, okay, we got to hurry up, rush through this, and like maybe that in some movies they want to change stuff in the second and third act as they're producing it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that if you filmed a entire character's scenes in the first week, right? And then like there is no leeway to change it. So I get it. But yeah, not good for me. I don't
So
think
you said it's the worst movie of all time that you ever seen?
it's up there. I mean, The Room is pretty bad, but the Room is almost like so bad it's good. Yeah, I won't be watching that.
Okay, okay.
What's it called again? The new one you just watched?
Divorced in the Dark.
Is it like?
Divorced in the Black.
Is it
Divorced in the
like?
Black. Yeah.
Is it like on streaming or is it in the theaters type of thing?
It's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's on there. So it's pretty. It's a movie, you know. It is
Mm.
something to watch.
Yeah.
But like
That,
like you said, over the top cartoony. Like literally, we was calling out parts before it happened. He's gonna be in the bushes watching. He's gonna be outside our job, and he's gonna threaten somebody, and they're gonna get into it. And she's waiting for him to hit her one time. She's acting weak, but she's gonna be a strong black woman and kill him. And bro, we called out every fucking scene before it happened.
But do you think that's because we watch so many movies that everything is kind of the same?
No, his movies are
mm,
very rinse and repeat,
'Cause
and you
I,
know that.
I be calling like scary movies like that too. Like
Scary movies are rinse and repeat too.
what
yeah,
was that movie? Me and my wife had watched it. Abigail,
Little
when
Doll.
the ballerina, but she was a vampire and shit.
Mm,
And as the movie is progressing, we was calling out who gonna die in order, and every person that we said based on how they came in the intro is how
Hmm.
they died. Me and Des
But
recalled that shit.
they do got parody movies, and they show how easy it is to guess that. You see
yeah,
who's the jock,
and
who's
I
the
mean,
lover girl, the quiet person. It's all easy to tell, bro.
yeah, and horror movies like they kind of like being tropey is kind of ingrained in them. Like
Yeah.
early Michael Myers stuff, kind of corny. Like early Friday the 13th stuff, super corny, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like some of them, they kind of lean into that, even though they're, have advanced that franchise for decades now. They're
Dog.
still like, oh,
Mhm.
well, for the hardcore fans, let's keep it kind of weird and
That's it.
lame
That's it.
sometimes, So it's kind of
We
like paying
love
a
that.
homage. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
But I mean, I noticed it like during COVID, uh, all the streaming services came out. You had Tubi, you had all these other ones. There was another one that came out that it came out and flopped, and the whole premise behind it was a streaming service, and everything in there was like 5 minutes, right? So they would have these TV shows were literally 5 minutes in length, and you had actual actors coming on, but it flopped. Um,
Mhm.
but there's so much content being made that even the bad ones are falling through the cracks, right? It's kind of like comedy on Netflix. If you were a comedian on Netflix 20 years ago, hey, good for you, man. You're one of the rare
Mm-hmm.
few that's on Netflix. Now every fucking comedian has a
Yeah.
Netflix,
Yeah.
special. So I mean, like they're making everything, and it's not as special, Like anyone can get a movie made. Uh, but yeah,
When your next flick coming out, so you can be on Netflix.
Well,
shit.
mine is actually on another site.
This
What? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
uh, pretty good movie, great acting. You know what I'm saying? You probably know who's gonna be finished off first, but
mm,
typical movie,
mm.
Yeah, but it was a great movie to make. Great movie to make, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. And
Was
all
it
the actors enjoyed themselves.
was it a short film?
It wasn't as short, but it's like a good 15-minute
Notice you said
film.
actors and not actresses.
Actresses. What you mean?
Oh hell no!
Women fought to have the word title actress
Okay.
instead of being
Mm,
Yeah,
discriminatory.
I'm being misogynistic. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I apologize.
yeah.
mm.
So stop with your jokes, sir.
That's tough.
This was a great woman actor in this movie.
Damn. And you said actors.
It's two
Did she get
actors.
paid?
She got a money shot. Yeah, I mean, she got a
Oh.
She got something.
Yeah, she
Oh,
leaving with something. So
man.
no, I'm playing. But
Little protein.
Duh,
That
we are
protein.
hilarious, man.
Well, all right,
Ultra
guys.
filter.
Yeah.
Moving on. This is the elephant in the room. It's the reason there was no short or YouTube clip or reel yesterday. Donald Trump. assassination attempt in Pennsylvania. Like this, as soon as it happened, everywhere, and uh, the only details coming out of it was he was giving a speech at a rally in Pennsylvania. A 20-year-old by the name of Thomas Matthew Crooks crawled up a nearby building and with a rifle, and he had like 5 shots off, hit Donald Trump in the ear, and then he was taken out by the snipers nearby the police department. But yeah, this is fucking crazy times to be living in.
Mm.
But bringing it back to the last episode we talked about a hypothetical. It was a fun time talking about a hypothetical civil war, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like
Mm.
hey, this is cool. That movie
It
just
could
came
never
out.
happen.
And
Right.
then I was literally going over the reel that Paris had edited. I was like, oh, okay, this is decent. This is decent. I'm gonna try doing it on Sunday instead of Saturday. And then that happened, and I was like, we can't release this. I was like, we can't put this out there. I even tried
Yeah.
doing a voiceover, like, hey, like if you want to see this conversation, go ahead and look it up, but we can't show
Mm-hmm.
you what's on this clip because it seemed kind of distasteful. Like, no one wants to be watching shit like that when just a couple more inches, it would have been in the reality,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, boy.
So yeah, what were your guys' initial thoughts
I thought
seeing
it
that?
was fake when I first seen it because
Mm.
I was hearing it, and then uh, he obviously got clipped in the ear. He touched it, and I was like, all right. And then I'm looking in the back, and I'm like, ain't nobody falling. So like, is this shit like for real, or was it like staged? So that's when I text the group like, hey, hey, y'all seen this shit? And then everybody had their reaction to it, but one of my buddies, he had text me. He was like, "Hey, did you see what was going on?" I was kind of jokingly saying, "Yeah, there was a terrible shot." But when I was hearing that, condolences to the families that lost their loved ones, that's
Mm.
when I was kind of like, "Oh, like this wasn't like play." Because when he got up and did the little fist bump, I was like, "Oh yeah, this fake as hell."
Mm-hmm.
But
that was the moment.
yeah, he was like, "Hold on, wait." And then
Yeah.
he was like, "Fight, fight." I was like, "Yeah, this got to be fake as hell." But then
Mm.
you was getting different messages where people was like, "Oh, it was a piece of glass that hit him in the ear," and then I'm like, if you got all them shots off, you really that damn good to get clip his ear? But obviously, I ain't know how far he was, but they say he was like 120 yards away. But yeah, it's a sad moment um, for America in general, regardless of what side you are going for.
Yeah.
Um, it shouldn't have, because when's the last time this shit happened with JFK? But
Well,
dang, that's
there's a book you can I forget what it's called, but it talks about like this the Secret Service has failed a ton of times, right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
even failed under Obama, like where like if you go over the instances where they've messed up on a security thing, I think a lot of the stuff that came out when there wasn't a whole lot of details of like who the shooter was, where did he shoot from, a lot of people were like, if this guy was on an adjacent building, how the hell was Secret Service not thinking to put somebody on top of this roof? You know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like yeah, we can all say that this is not something that should be happening anywhere, let alone the U.S. during an election
mm-hmm.
season. Like, this stuff should not be happening. Although I will say, initially my thoughts were, damn, like missed him, but yeah, like this type of shit should not be happening. Should note though. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get James. What was your initial thought?
I still feel like it's like a false flag thing. I know my
Really?
conspiracy theory in tennis is up there
Yeah.
because the way they showed it was like you have your stage, you got the building the police was on, and it pretty much was no other building but the little structure that he was on. And I
Yeah.
felt like that was a dead, like you said it though. You said they failed us many a times, right? But that was a dead ass space to be like, hey, uh, this is a little higher than most spaces. Everything
Yeah.
else is grass.
Yeah.
We should either be on top of this or just have somebody on top of it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then the fact that I watched all the other videos of people calling the police saying there is a
Like,
guy
hey,
right
there's
there.
there's someone
You,
over there.
you
Yeah.
feel me? And nobody paid any attention. I felt like that was a little bullshit. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's probably gonna make his numbers go up because of that. He did his big one. He did that little big move right there.
Yeah.
But that's gonna make some people say, "Oh yeah, this is a real one." They tried to silence him. They gonna spin that to be on his side heavily. So conspiracy theorist man right here. I don't believe it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then did y'all see the photo of them capturing the bullet that actually missed them?
Yeah. Yeah. The little like it was that long because of the
Yeah.
frame rate. Yeah.
I mean, it,
Frame
if
rate
you
is crazy though. You don't got it.
Oh wait, are you saying you don't believe that was the actual
no, no,
shot?
no. If
Or
I was saying, like, if nobody else would have gotten hurt, they would have said that was photoshopped.
oh well, yeah, I think we all pretty much agreed that at this our initial thoughts when we were doing a little chat group about like, oh shit, did you guys see this?
Yeah,
Like initially, as soon as it happened, people were posting clips of, oh, this is staged, like Trump put some fake blood in his ear,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
like a lot of theories are going out there before any facts had first come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like hindsight, 24 hours later, this is a legit attack. Like this thing, to me, this thing is not fabricated. This thing is literally a guy who we should know has his house was raided last night because they obviously you want to find the motive. Like, was he working alone? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they found explosives in his car, like or bomb making devices in his car. Uh, he was a registered Republican. It's telling that this guy is a registered Republican and he tried taking out someone who recently just had a bunch of Epstein files leak,
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm.
had just said in a couple interviews ago, I think it was on Fox News, they were asking him, would you declassify these documents? Would you declassify these? And then when they brought up the Epstein files, he said, no, I won't declassify those because we don't want to mess with people's personal lives, right? Kind of fishy that the
Damn.
yeah, so you're kind of
Fucking
putting the red yarn together because
yeah.
it just kind of came out that Trump has ties with Jeffrey Epstein, known pedophile, right?
Mm,
Mm.
um but yeah, I mean, I kind of understand what you guys are saying with the whole it's going to boost Trump's numbers. I agree, it's going to boost his base, people that were already
yeah,
going to vote with him.
for sure.
He's definitely going to get more donation dollars. That's, I think Elon Musk came out and said yesterday that he was supporting Trump, which not a surprise there. um he's going to get more money from this, but I don't think this is going to move the needle that much. If anything,
Okay.
you're going to see an uptick in, I don't want to say shootings, but definitely some uproarious physical behavior. I could see this becoming
Mm.
more and more common, right?
You think
Shit,
it's
That
gonna be some more people in them U-Hauls coming for us?
right, the Proud Boys. But
Yeah.
it's telling. I do want to say this. Speaker Mike Johnson, who's the head of the Republicans in the House, said, I got it quoted, everyone needs to turn the rhetoric down, right? It should be noted that the right and the Republicans and Donald Trump are the ones that have this violent rhetoric. They were the ones after this happened were touting a, oh, civil war, like liberals should be on their knees begging us that bullet was a couple inches to the left. Like violent responses to this shooting, while every major Democrat was saying, we're praying for Donald, we're glad he's okay, right? It's something when you are talking about something violence, when one side has been nothing but violent,
Mm-hmm.
inciting a January 6th riot and trying to take over the US government, and then the other side has been trying to do everything by the book legally. So let's not pretend that the Republicans haven't put this rhetoric upon themselves,
For
right?
sure. I agree
Like
on that part.
like they're already trying to say that this is because the Democrats are responsible for this. That people were making fake or not Instagram, well, yeah, Instagram, but social media profiles of the shooter, and then putting stuff like Black Lives Matter in his little bio. Right?
Bro,
They're
look, I don't
trying to
want to get
paint
into
this
that.
guy. They're trying to paint
Yes.
this guy as a liberal, right? But no, he is a Republican. He's one of you, right? But go ahead, James.
I was about to say that, bro. It's okay. I didn't watch news videos and people do that shit a lot. These Republican white guys, white women, whatever you want to say, they be the first ones where some shit go left, they automatically say, yeah, a group of black guys did this.
Yeah.
Black people did this. You know what I'm saying? They was some Antifa people did this. They was yelling Black Lives Matter at this. And you was like, all right, let's look at the footage. It's all white people doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they really trying to paint, this image of black people really rioting, killing, and pillaging, and just so it can further their little agenda and shit
Right.
like that. And
Yeah.
I don't be fucking with that, bro. I don't be fuck. It be pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Shit, majority of these mass shootings have all been Caucasian people.
The
Everyone
majority.
else like nationalized.
Yeah. And again, the party that is for lax gun laws, right? The party that doesn't want you to go through a mental evaluation before you buy a gun, right? Um, Common sense gun laws are not common in the Republican Party. And what do you get?
Mm.
Someone trying to take off your president's head. But yeah.
I mean, overall, it's tough. For one, it's not like he was just a random candidate. He
Mm,
was the former president, so you still gotta give him that type of respect, regardless of the situation.
right.
Um, but when they just try to point fingers instead of just pointing the finger at literally at the person who did it, they trying to, like you said, paint the picture of a whole community of folks that ain't had shit to do with it.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean,
So yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit,
Again,
I
go
was
ahead.
saying, I was messing with my buddy. I was like, bro, if he would got hit, it would have been the first instance of the purge. The purge
Yeah.
would have happened.
Well,
That shit, it would have been green light
oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Like there was a lot of people on TikTok, a lot of white uh, TikTokers that were like, it would have happened. Like that would have been like what you said. It would have been the green light for us to do some shit. Um, but I'm gonna
I
end it
mean,
with.
Trump literally said, "Hey, storm the Capitol," and they did it. So imagine if he would have got
Well,
hurt.
well, no, I mean, like you even pointed out, like he kept saying, what did he keep saying when they were dragging him off the stage? Fight.
Fight.
But yeah, like I'm pretty much just gonna echo what I said when we were talking about the debate. Vote. Look up your candidates and vote. You know.
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, I know y'all don't feel that it's gonna change. I really feel that it's gonna be a whole huge wave of folks that's gonna support that.
It's
I
not that I
mean,
don't. It's not that I don't think it's going to change. It's just that I am fervently opposing this potential change. Like,
only because Biden, he ain't got shit to. I mean, he don't have shit to gain from it, but he losing his own core base every time you come out. Every time you come and
You think
say a
so?
talk,
uh,
everything I'm seeing on my social media feed is everybody talking about how it's embarrassing every time he comes out and talk. So people who are already on the left, they over here saying shit was better than what the fuck we got. That's what I'm seeing.
no,
Y'all might have different followers, but from what I'm
Yeah.
seeing, people are embarrassed that this is what we have. And you looking at the right, it's like, well, he at least got his senses. So why would we vote for a person that don't have these senses unless Kamala about to take over?
I
So
will
that's what
say,
I'm seeing on my shit.
yeah,
Okay.
I will say I don't agree with that because have you guys ever heard of the dead internet theory?
That we all died.
No. Well, the dead internet theory is that soon you're going to get to a place where there's more bots than people, and most of the online interactions you're going to be seeing is with bots, like these Reddit, Instagram, Facebook comments. They're not. Most of them are not going to be real people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that kind of leans into the whole Russian bot thing. Like I want to say the Justice Department helped take down a Russian bot farm that was responsible for 1,000 bots in the U.S. putting disinformation from the left, from the right, trying to disorganize any sort of election. Right? Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
uncommon for the Russians and the Chinese to do this. Right? If there's a candidate they like, they want that candidate to win. They're going to boost it and make it seem online like there's a lot of people like Instagram, for instance. I noticed that Instagram has a lot of anti-Biden, pro-Trump shit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That is not common, right? Like if you go to any random poll of people, 100 people, is it really going to be 80% shit for Trump against Biden? Absolutely not. But Instagram would tell you that that's what it is, right? So you kind of have to go in there realizing like, okay, why are they putting this up there? Who is paying
Yeah.
them to put this out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though you're seeing an Instagram feed full of pro Trump shit, I know for a fact that that is not how the voting went 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
I
and
kind of
then
you got to
so,
take stuff like that with a grain of salt.
yeah, I'm about to say to put you hip on another part too. Don't forget about like when you look on their pages, bro. Not a post, not a follow, not a
Right.
friend. It just be 000. But they making comments on every single thing. I normally look at them posts too, and I'd be like, bot ass motherfucker. I
Mm.
think it might be like, them little Finsta, the little spam accounts. I didn't think as far as you did when you said like they are purposely making bots, but I do check up shit and be looking like, oh yeah, this is just a little bullshit page, little fake page type shit.
And then I was going to say it was a TikTok of this lady. Said she had showed her boyfriend or her husband the same post, and based on their preferences when they made their profile, like male, female, so on and so forth, age and all that shit.
Yeah.
She showed the same post and said, "Oh, do you see all the comments?" And he looked at it. It was like, "Yeah, everything, everything that you saying, I don't see that."
Mhm.
So based on your profile, the comments, you know, lay out based on what your
Mm.
profile is too.
It's like a filter for you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because it was
Got
like
you.
I forgot what the video was, but it was like pro female, like pro female. But when he did it was pro male.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
So
Yep.
based on, I'm assuming with Instagram, based on your what you liked the most as far as like Democrats or Republican, you're gonna see more Democratic
Oh yeah, fully
comments
agree on
Yeah, yeah.
that.
versus
That
Republican and so on and so forth.
yeah,
Because
that's
they
So
your
that's why
always
I
dust
said
it
it.
off. Okay, I got you.
that's your
Yeah, that's why I was saying
algorithm.
I
Yeah.
basically seen Democrats, but they was all talking shit, or not really shit, but just they was depressed that this is what we have on our side.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it just comes down to Democrats hold to a higher standard, right?
For
Like
sure.
if a Democrat had done some of the shit that Trump has done, they would have, all right, I'm going to resign. Whereas Republicans, when they have a candidate that does this shit, oh no, he's staying in there. It's all fake news, right? Uh,
Shit, I just don't see how this motherfucker ain't behind bars. Like I said in the other podcast, like if it had been anybody else, it wouldn't have. Did y'all see that shit when they was talking about the two judges had said that whatever you did during presidency is
You can
forgiven or
get,
something?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if it was official,
Man,
yeah.
And you can get all the money you want to from that shit too.
Again, that's why it's important to vote. If Biden wins,
Yeah.
he can stack the Supreme Court. You won't get results like that. But
Yeah.
but all this shit that he did was prior to him being president, though, so it still shouldn't count.
that's why he's arguing that it was official. That was the key word. It was, but if it's an official act, it's okay. So he is trying to argue like, well, no, no, no. Me taking these documents to Mar-a-Lago that were secret and sealed, that was an official act when I was president. That's why you get into this
Hmm.
political gray area of trying to define
Mm-hmm.
what is an official act and where does it stop, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, let me shine some light on this. As I mentioned a little bit ago, Musk put his support behind Trump
Trump.
after the shooting, right? Uh, Elon Musk, as we all know, took control of Twitter. Elon Musk has now deleted almost 100,000 hashtags for Trump pedophiles posts. What happened to free speech? What happened to mainstream media? So you literally had Trump pedophiles trending, 253,000 posts, and then 8,000 posts. So
Damn.
he is censoring the anti-Trump shit you're seeing on one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. And
Yeah.
this is the guy that believes in free speech. So yeah, again, research and vote. That's it.
That's crazy.
And then you
How
gotta
the
think
hell you
about
got a
it.
site that show coochie, but you wanna delete the hashtag for him though, but you gonna show that on the other side.
Mm,
Yeah, and I was gonna say you gotta, for as massive as social media is, you don't feel it's another smarter person than you that's not as famous gonna figure that shit out.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you had like you gonna have one random person that's an outlier that just knows shit, and
Mm-hmm.
you telling me he or she not gonna figure that shit out? Come on, man,
Yeah.
this shit is too powerful. That's why you gotta really mind what you put out there because somebody gonna find that shit,
Facts.
Mm,
whether you famous or not. What it was,
Yeah.
whatever is posted on the internet, that shit is forever.
Mm-hmm. That digital
Yeah.
footprint is crazy.
Man.
He had another account. I think he got rid of it, but it was after he had a kid with this one singer. What the hell was her name? Grimes. He had a kid with her, and then they divorced. I don't know if they were married or maybe they separated. And apparently they had a custody battle. And this alt account that was confirmed to have been run by Elon Musk posted a tweet like, Grimes split with the king of SpaceX. Her kids must hate her.
Oh,
This
he's the
fucking
coolest guy
genius
in the world.
billionaire is posting like a fucking 13-year-old girl.
Exactly.
Right.
Bro, it's some people out there sole mission to stalk whoever the fuck they hate. So you gotta be really careful who you piss off, basically, on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's some motherfucking crazy people out here that's literally sole mission is
Oh,
to
hell
hate
yeah.
on you.
Hell, you can make a fucking brand on that shit. Like fucking what's that one dude? No Life Shack. He has made a career of loving Eminem, right?
Yeah, he
So
got
I'm sure
famous.
someone
Yeah,
could make a career for hating Eminem just as much,
For
right?
sure. For sure.
But yeah, that's enough of this. Condemn the attack. It shouldn't happen. Let's keep the election going safely.
Yeah.
but speaking of
So
Eminem,
yeah, great segue,
Oh,
P.
that's a good segue. I love it.
Yeah, you guys. So last week, Eminem released his highly anticipated album, uh, "The Death of Slim Shady Coup de Gras,"
Mm-hmm.
and we all have listened to it. Let it simmer for a couple days.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts? What do we think? Is M back? Is he better than ever?
bro,
Is it a miss?
I listened to this
It's
shit
for
when I
sure
was
a hit.
outside and when I was working. So I listened to the whole shit before I seen any social media. 'Cause I seen something on YouTube and I was like, oh shit, he dropped his album. So let me go ahead and listen to this shit. It was an hour and 9 minutes. I'm outside busting my ass. I'm listening through the whole thing, no skips.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, he said, hey, listen to my album
It's
straight through
it's
because
conceptual.
yeah. So I was like, damn, because when I first listened to it, I was like, damn, all this shit blending together. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know when the next song started. It didn't have no skips or jumps like that. Like, you know how
Mm-hmm.
some shit just jump and then it's to the next song? It was literally
Yeah.
like a whole fucking story. I was like, oh shit. So it was certain songs I didn't even know what the name was until I went back and listened to the playlist.
Mm.
But dog, my favorite song is Fuel. That motherfucker went ham on that.
That was a
Fuel,
good one.
Fuel, Temporary, and
Yeah.
Renaissance are my top three. Even
Okay.
though Renaissance was kind of like a build up, so it
Yeah.
really wasn't a full song, but it got to the
Exactly. I said
point.
the
Yeah.
same shit. Yeah.
Renaissance is dope. I wish it was like 2 minutes longer.
Me too.
Like,
It ended. I was like,
that
Right?
what
Yeah.
happened?
those first two songs, because it starts with Renaissance, then it goes straight into Habits.
Yeah.
Honestly, those are my favorite two on the album because his flow is very much not Eminem like we've heard him before. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's Slim
more
Shady.
it's no. It's more contemporary modern flows than what he normally does. And
Yeah.
the beats are way better than stuff he normally goes
Oh
on.
my god,
Right.
night and day. Whoever
Yeah.
produced
Mm-hmm.
this shit, give them a motherfucking plat. God damn. Like I literally the only skippable song was the one with Bizarre.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's
Good
the
thing you
only
ain't
one.
say Baby Tron in them. I like that Toby one just because he just brought the city out technically a little bit,
Baby
but
trying to make Sean, yeah.
yeah, I fuck with that one too.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be on the Lyrical Lemonade album. And then Eminem wasn't originally on that, and then he hopped on it and he was like, I'll take it on mine, you know. And Cole Bennett
Okay,
was like,
okay.
all right, sure, yeah, you're the
Shit,
goat.
you're gonna get more plays on his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart man.
As far as like I'm not as high on it as you are, P. I do love Eminem, he like God. But I will say to me it was getting really old in the beginning as Slim Shady. Like but again, it is conceptual. Like he is that's one thing that I wish like the media journalists would kind of take note on is he's rapping about you guys and you're taking these weird quotes that he says you're going to take out of context and you take them out of context.
Bro.
He's not dissing Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
He's
he said,
saying
let me
these are
get in
what
the mind of you guys. Let me
yeah,
say
this
what
is
y'all to say. His beat didn't have this song didn't have enough beats on it. This didn't have
right.
enough bangers on it.
You
He's
guys
literally
would
saying what y'all.
He
Yeah,
said, "This is how
you
y'all
guys
strip down legends."
yeah,
yeah,
you guys would hate 36 Chambers. Like you would find
yeah.
something wrong with the classic undeniably great album, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh but yeah, But that being said, though, the part where he's Slim Shady and he's very much actively doing the more provocative stuff,
Bro, I
Yeah.
loved it. I
I hated it.
loved it.
I fucking
I
I
hated
like
it.
fucking
that shit.
loved
I
that.
like that shit. I
Because
ain't gonna lie to you.
because like to me, I was listening to it, I was like, oh, okay, Caitlyn Jenner bar. And then like 30 seconds later, another Caitlyn Jenner bar. And then probably 2 songs later, oh, Caitlyn Jenner again. And then like it seemed like he was really going in on midgets, Caitlyn Jenner, and Christopher
Mm-hmm.
Reeves.
Oh yeah, he went in on Reeves, boy. Reeves was catching all the motherfucking strays. But I loved every second of this
I
shit,
like that
man.
type of
I'm
shit. I
talking
ain't
with a
gonna lie to
fucking
you.
passion. Like he had the storytelling on, like it was literally nostalgia overload.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This
I,
shit,
I
I'm gonna rate this bitch already. This shit was a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. This was the best album since Curtain Call and what was his other
Encore.
one? Yeah, Encore.
Mm-hmm.
Top three. This
Curtain
bitch is
Call.
instant. Oh my god, I loved every second of it. Like I said, the only skippable song, and I didn't even skip it, was the Bizarre one because it flowed with the story.
Yeah.
This was literally me reliving my childhood through like he basically going through all this shit as Slim Shady. He, obviously battling his alter ego.
Mm.
And he making fun of that shit, but he thought he going in on these motherfuckers because this world, this society got too fucking soft. And
Bro, the
he's
Gen Z people, you saw them crying, and we need to cancel Slim Shady.
Bro, you can't cancel the uncancelable, bro. He canceled his
Dog.
own fucking self, and he gonna put catapult his ass. Oh my god, this shit was 10 out of 10.
I do like the last half of the album better. The actual after the death of Slim Shady, where he got a little more introspective. He had the song for Haley, which
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the temper was
a
yeah,
very
that shit was
very
good.
good emotional song. Got me caught
Yeah.
like choking up a little bit as I was listening to it. But yeah, like I do like how the overall concept of the album is him saying, "I'm not going to be saying this outrageous shit just to say this shit. If I'm saying it, I'm really feeling it. So
Yeah, yeah.
you're not going to hear Eminem say some shit about transgenders or gay people anymore because he's not feeling that shit anymore. He's grown, he's adapted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that. This is a I'm looking forward to the next album. Like, are we
So
going to get
it's
I
some
think that's
growth.
it.
no,
I
like, are we going to? I'm hoping we get like at least one good introspective, like 444 Jay Z type album. If we get that from Eminem,
Mm.
if we get that like a real grown up, mature
Yeah,
Eminem
yeah,
album,
yeah.
I'm fucking in. But yeah, the last half of this album I think is excellent. The first 2 songs are probably my favorite on the album. If I was to give this a rating out of 5, I would give it 3.5, 4 around there.
damn,
Turn the cameras off. End the podcast right now. I'm done.
that's fucking low shit.
Fuck no.
It's not bad. That's not a bad review.
He's an artist. He's a
So you like
scholar
Recovery
of
better?
the arts.
Mm-mm.
He said kamikaze.
No, I
I, li-
know he
I
said
like
Kamikaze, but I'm saying Recovery. And what was the other one with the flag on it with Beyonce?
Revival.
Walk on Water. That shit was
Revival.
fucking terrible.
Revival. No,
Yeah, now
I,
that
I
shit
like
is a
I
two. Like,
like I like Kamikaze, Music to Be Murdered By. I like it a little bit more than this one. Um, yeah, but this is definitely, like you said, it brought me back to my childhood. It made me feel like I was listening to the Eminem show all over again, just like a new
Yeah.
revamped
yeah, the
version.
Eminem show. That's what I was trying to say. But man, it was a lot of shit. You was like, you can't say that, M. But Shady can. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. Like with that, with Fuel, he was like, with the rapper bar, he said, oh, did he left out a P? Did he? I was
The
like,
Diddy line. Yeah, yeah. I like
oh
how
yeah,
this one he kind of doubled down on it because the last time he brought it up was Killshot, where he was talking about uh,
yeah,
the day you put out a hit is the day Diddy admits he put out the hit that got Pac killed. And this
yeah.
one he's like, no, no, no. Not only did you kill Pac, you killed fucking Biggie too. And like I'm like running it down your throat. Pause. That you are conniving and you should not have been on this pedestal that everyone was putting you on. Like Em's
Mm-hmm.
had beef with him for a long ass time.
And dog, the wordplay at that whole last segment, he was like the conk and conk. I don't know what the fuck he was saying, but it was that conk, conk, conk. Every fucking word had that fucking syllable, and it made fucking sense. It's like, bro, ain't nobody doing that shit.
Yeah. To be at his age and still having that kind of
Yeah.
wordplay, like
Oh,
that
that shit
flow,
was
it's insane.
masterful, bro. Like,
Yeah.
even, and this was, all right, to put this in perspective for people that don't, who wasn't raised with M, this is the comedic M that I fell in love with. Like, this ultra serious Eminem, like, he bashed on that. Obviously, he know how to talk about himself. He is a very humble human being that literally knows he's a guest in hip hop in some people's eyes. I don't feel he's a guest. I feel he's top dog in that bitch. He's top 3 for sure. Like he earned his spot. Like you ain't
I
you ain't
I
knocking his ass off.
I fucking loved Eminem. Rarely talks about race, like because like you said, he knows that he is not. He would say that he is a guest, right?
Yeah.
Um, I love that he rarely talks about race, but then he fucking dragged Candace Owens. Like you're
Yeah.
denying that you're black, bitch. Fuck you. It's like Eminem of all people is dragging you because you're fucking racist to black
And then
people.
he was talking about the little people. I had it up to here. I almost started fucking laughing, bro. I was like, no, you can't do it, L. But
Is he
Shady
beefing with a little
can.
person?
Huh?
Is he beefing with a little person?
Bro,
That's what I thought. I
he
was like,
beefing with cripples. He beefing with trans. He's like,
yeah.
hey, bro, I can't forget that you was already a man.
What was that?
Like, I don't get excited. Man, that
What,
shit was perfect.
did we get your rating, James?
No, I'm gonna give it a motherfucking 5 out of 5.
Enough said.
Enough said.
This shit was fucking perfect.
It's good. Like I grew up to M, bro. I really fell in love with his style of music. He used to be my top favorite rapper, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know him,
Dylan, and Dylan.
You know, oddly enough, people don't like my choice of music, bro, because I love Kevin Gates' music like a motherfucker. He a freaky motherfucker though.
Yeah.
But
we're looking at you funny for that one.
Let's do the revamp top 5. Revamp top 5. Go.
Top 5.
You go, bro. I'm not. It's not even in my head right now.
Tupac, Eminem, obviously. I had 50 Cent. You can't forget 50. That motherfucker's a staple. I'm gonna put King Von in there only because I was listening to him fucking heavy, bro. And then he fucking died a year later.
Not a big catalog, but yeah, I respect it.
So I got 4. I'm gonna think of my last one, but that's my 4. Eminem, Tupac, 50 Cent, and King Von. I would say Lil Wayne because he had a fucking huge peak when we was kids or teenagers. But I ain't really feeling Lil Wayne like that right now, so I'm gonna think of my last one.
Lil Wayne is most definitely
he's on mine, yeah,
for sure. You can't take Lil Wayne out your top 5, bro. Yeah. Lil Wayne is in my. Oddly enough, B.O.B. he up there with me.
Fucking Bobby Ray.
Yeah. Bro, he has so many conspiracy theory albums and just exposing real shit at a period of time. It made me just gravitate to him a lot.
Yeah,
more.
That's why you don't hear from him anymore.
I don't give a damn. He there with me. You feel me?
I never expected that. When you said Kevin Gates and B.O.B., I was like, what?
That's what I said, bro. My music choice, my music is everywhere, bro. I go off of how I feel. I barely know the words to half these songs. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I go off the emotion. I'll be like, this is touching me. But yeah, B.O.B., Lil Wayne, motherfucking I'm gonna say Gates. No, he out of my 5. He out of my 5.
Wow.
Who else? I'll say M. I want to say DMX though, to be honest with you.
Ooh, Rough Riders. He had a moment.
Yeah. I ain't like the shit he was doing like in his life, like the drug addiction shit. That was pissing me off, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to love all that little gangster shit.
All right. That was Pomeranian barks.
But
that's 3 so far.
3. I could throw M in there for sure, guaranteed. Did I say M?
Yeah, that's 3.
Oh, so Wayne, M, Gates.
No, you took Gates out. You said B.O.B., Wayne, and M.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna actually go back to 50, bro. Because back in the day, they used to call me Lil 50 because I looked like him a little bit. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I used to have the do-rags on and the beaters, and I was a little strong for my age.
What was your 4P?
I had 50, King Von, Eminem, and Tupac. But I'm gonna round it out with Lil Wayne because, like I said, his peak was very high.
Uh, I'm gonna I put a list up. I'm going to have in no particular order: Lil Wayne, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna round it out with Busta Rhymes, and then personal is Childish Gambino for my top five.
Charles Gambino was a good one. That's a good one. I like his whole catalog for the most part.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like
Yeah.
he's also in there for the stuff that's not. He does comedy, does writing, does
Mm-hmm.
producing, does directing, does acting. Like
Yeah.
triple threat. You know,
And that's one of my reasons why 50 in there too. His
business acumen.
Yeah, I don't want to say comedy because he got dark jokes, but I do love it though.
He's
Like
your
he
inner
just
thoughts.
yes, he just don't stop, bro. He just don't stop. So that's a
Hmm.
cool motherfucker too. You know. But yeah.
Drake could be six if I did say it though. I probably flip flop King Von and Drake if I had Drake. It was
Yeah.
probably
King Von
that's.
had like what, 2 albums, if that?
Yeah. But they were
He
good.
had 3 or 4. He had Grandson. He had another one. Was his baby picture and something else.
What like O Block or some shit?
Yeah,
Yeah. Kind of the same thing like Pop Smoke. Didn't have many
Oh
albums.
yeah.
he
Didn't
was
have
If
gonna
he
be
many
would have
150.
lived,
albums. Yeah, didn't
yeah,
have
if
many
he would have
albums,
lived,
but they were fucking good. You know.
oh, if Pop Smoke would have lived, bro, that was one celebrity death that hit me. Him, Paul Walker, who else dead?
I ain't mean to cut you off, but it was LeVon James, Grandson Volume 1, Welcome to O Block, and What It Means to Be King. Those was
Mm,
his 4 albums.
okay. But yeah, them two motherfuckers hit me, I ain't gonna lie.
Method
I was
Man would
like,
be my six.
Method Man is a solid guy. The ladies
I never
love
listened to
Method
him growing
Man.
up. Only
Me
reason I knew
neither.
of Method Man was because of Def Jam,
Were you ever into
Fight for
Wu
New York.
Tang?
Nah, I ain't fuck with that.
Oh, that was a
I
jam.
didn't like the poetry rap. I ain't grow up with. I ain't like
Oh,
that shit.
it's not that. Oh
That's probably
man,
why I don't like
it's good.
Kendrick.
Bring the motherfucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. Yeah.
I do like not as a rapper per se, but Redman as a person.
Yeah.
I liked Redman and Method Man when they was coming up because of the fact that MTV Cribs, they had a regular house. They was just
Yeah.
living regular,
He
making
used his
money.
actual house.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think it was like one of his cousins.
They
And
just was chilling.
yeah.
And then he said he's like a licensed skydiver, Redman.
Hmm.
And he just lived life. He just said, I just want to have fun and do my thing. And I like that. Most of
Yeah.
the people like, I gotta be in the image. I gotta be at this level all the time. I'm like, bro, just live life, bro.
That's
You
why
made enough
J.
money.
Cole resonated with a lot of folks because he got fame, but
You'll still
well, based on his words, he don't want it.
yeah, you'll still see him on a
Mm-hmm.
bike in the middle of Manhattan just chilling,
Yeah.
you know.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, let's wrap it up with our summer rewatch.
Summer rewatch. Yeah.
Mm,
Yes, the film. Ooh, I hope that was a good grunt.
mm-mm,
Uh,
mm-mm.
the film, the film selected this week at random again, brought in by the viewers was Adaptation, 2002's Adaptation, directed by Spike Jones and written by Charlie Kaufman.
How did you
Do you
feel
guys
about
want me to lead this one off?
You
Yeah,
gonna have
please
to,
do.
bro. I ain't
Okay,
gonna lie to you.
so let me ask: did you guys see this movie before?
Mm-mm.
No, never saw it.
Have you heard about this movie?
Nope.
Never heard about it.
Okay, what about the book, The Orchid Thief?
Never heard about it.
Nope.
Okay, so the film adaptation is centered around screenplay writer Charlie Kaufman. He is in the middle of production of the movie that he wrote. Uh, what's it called? Being John Malkovich. Also directed by Spike Jonze, who
Mhm.
also is the director of this movie. This movie is incredibly meta. Um, so while they're in the production stages of Being John Malkovich, Charlie Kaufman is approached to do an adaptation of a book called The Orchid Thief. The Orchid
Yeah.
Thief is a pretty straightforward book written by a woman that was talking about this guy who, for horticulture reasons, would steal orchids from state parks, cultivate them, and his dream was to make them readily available and not as rare.
Hmm.
Um, Charlie Kaufman has severe writer's block. He cannot find a way to make this story interesting. There is nothing in this book that has any sort of conflict, any sort of hero, any sort of villain. It's a straightforward book. So, in his process of having writer's block, he decides to say, fuck it. I'm going to write this movie about me trying to write this movie and adapting this into a screenplay. And that's what the movie is. You're never going to see a movie like this again because the studios had no idea he was doing this. They
Mm,
thought he was doing a straightforward adaptation as it was written on book. Then he was going to add some conflict and stuff to make it more Hollywood.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he was making this a more introspective thing about himself, about his writer's block, about his, a little sometimes self-deprecating, about his doubts in his head about being a writer. Is he able to do this? And so he, when he pretty much had the script finished, he showed it to Spike Jonze, the director, and he was on board. He was like, "Oh, if they approve it, I'm going to do it." So the studio saw the screenplay and they were like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this is not the book adapted at all. Like, you've completely made this like a metaphysical thing about yourself."
Yeah.
And because Spike Jonze had already said that he would direct it, and they had just finished doing a reasonably successful movie being John Malkovich, they said, "Okay, like, we're going to get behind this. However, we have to convince the original author of the book that is being adapted, Susan Orlean, to sign off on it." So they basically took her to lunch, gave her a couple drinks, and then they dropped the bombshell of, "Okay, this is the changes that are made. Your book is pretty much not the star of this movie at all. It's in there
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, but it's not adapted a 1-to-1." So she originally thought, Charlie Kaufman thought that his career was going to be over when he submitted this screenplay. Susan Orlean thought her career was going to be over if she agreed to let this movie be made. But because everyone else was seemingly on board and down to do it, she agreed. And that's adaptation. It's, uh, how can I wrote it down. You're watching a movie about a guy making the movie that you're currently watching. That's the movie in a nutshell. It's a very metaphysical, fourth
Yeah.
wall breaking, uh, reality reality breaking shit going on. But yeah, that's basically adaptation.
I thought dude was freaking out. I didn't figure out he had a fucking twin brother until his twin brother died. I thought he was seeing that shit like it was his alter ego. Like I didn't know his twin brother was actually real. Like you know how some people got split personalities and one person's more outgoing and he's the introvert and he just
Mm-hmm.
have a second part of his mind saying, "Oh, this is what you should do for the movie," or that's his part of his alter ego that gets the girls and talk to the girls and open minded. I just thought that was a whole like different person. I was just expecting him to just fade away. I did not think he was real. I thought he was completely made up. And as far as like the whole plot of the movie, I did not understand it. I was lost to the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I thought an hour into the movie, I thought it was gonna pick up in pace where I was like, all right, now it's about to start kicking in. But I really thought it was gonna pick up when he was in that bar with the teacher or whoever he
Yeah,
was.
the
And he
instructor.
was like, well, in the third act, that's just when you gotta bring the drama and all that stuff. And this is when the shit's supposed to pick up, which it actually did. So I was like, it was foreshadowing, but I was expecting something else. I thought it was gonna be a lot better. Um, we'll get the ratings after Ray go, but yeah, I didn't know what the
Um.
fuck was going on.
So I got some of the like the gist of what they was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? It was like a lot of growth stuff going on with like adaptation. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was getting that stuff. It is well out of my normal movie. You feel me?
Hmm.
So I was trying to focus heavily on it. I knew that was a brother. I knew it was well his brother. You know, I didn't think it was a alternate personality type of thing. But that shit was boring, bro.
You guys are both right about the brother. Uh, he there is no Donald Kaufman. He is a completely made up character. But in the movie, he is actually his brother. But it's not a real person he's based on. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so Donald Kaufman got a nomination, I think, for an Academy Award or a BAFTA, something like that, who doesn't exist. So he's
That's
one of
crazy.
the only people that
Hmm.
doesn't exist that got the nomination.
Hmm.
I got the part where it was like, okay, one wants to be super artsy, where he wants to not follow the Hollywood trends. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what we said, the movies we just watched was easily predictable. You
Mm.
know, and the brother was easily on that type of board. He wasn't tripping on that part. You feel me? But I was understanding shit. It just that was a slow. That was a boring movie, brother. I can't lie to you. I
Man,
tried my best to. I said, I really said this shit, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was like, this motherfucker is a very artsy man. He's a very cultured man. Him and Seth understand certain shit that
Oh, me?
yeah,
I thought you were talking about Charlie Kaufman.
you motherfucker,
I didn't.
you
I
and
didn't. Hold on. I didn't recommend this movie. This was on the wheel.
But I thought like this would be something that you or Seth put on there. You feel me?
I
So I'm
No,
thought
looking
this
like,
was
Seth did.
Seth. I as did not.
Well, no. Seth.
I thought this character was Seth to the T. Like you remember how he's very introverted,
I don't know. I was gonna
yeah,
like that.
but he's
Okay.
very intellectual, and I felt the reason why he probably resonated with this movie because he probably saw himself as this character talking to himself in his head, saying, "Oh, maybe I should do this." Oh
hmm
no, he's very, like I said, introverted. So I felt as I was watching this, I put it in Seth's perspective.
Mm.
So that's where I was trying to get it from. So I actually paid attention, but I fell asleep on this movie last night. I tried to watch this shit last night at 12. 10
hmm
o'clock, went to sleep at 11, woke up, movie was over. I was like, well, let me watch the other half that I forgot, that I missed. Still boring as shit. I was like, dog, I cannot do it.
yeah. Now I didn't say it was picked by like y'all saw yourself in that character. I just was like, this is probably from like their film school type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Something that
Oh
like
yeah.
in that
Well, I
in
mean,
that way.
I like I mentioned, like this is. There's very few movies that you see and you're like, oh, they could never make a movie like this again. This is
Yeah,
one of them. Like
for sure, for sure.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy is another one. They filmed those three movies back to back to back in the span of 18 months. You're never going to see that happen
Damn,
again, right? So
didn't know that.
yeah, so this is another one where the entire creation of it and them going through with it and making it, they're never going to do it again. But I mean, yeah, like it's here's some notes that I made. Uh, I actually like how authentic the dialogue is. Like it's legit, it's real. It's not like they made some shit up. It's he's literally having self-doubt. Everybody has that inner
Yes.
monologue of like, oh fuck,
Mm-hmm.
like
Shit, that's what it was in the last movie we watched with Jim Carrey.
there's a reason
That's
for that because Charlie
Cause he
Kaufman
made that,
wrote
didn't
that too.
he? Yeah, yeah.
He wrote it. He wrote
well,
that too.
makes
Yeah,
sense
the
then.
the spotless sun shit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I did was like, damn. That's why I thought y'all picked it. That's what I thought because you was like, you really recommended that one, and then this one came right. Well, not right after it, but down the road after, and I
Just
was
a
like, oh,
happy coincidence that it
happy
was
coincidence.
like
Okay,
right back.
like life.
Um, yeah. So I
That
mentioned
was
some
a
of the
thing
thing.
that. Oh my bad. Keep going.
No, no. Some of the things are completely fabricated, including the character of Donald. No one at the studio knew that he was taking this approach with the screenplay. Um, I love. Okay, I'm gonna go with my favorite scene. I'm assuming you guys don't have a favorite scene, so I'll just give mine. Is that fair? Do you?
hmm
So,
I have a
uh,
particular one that
which one?
Okay.
Go ahead. Which one was yours?
more so when it was probably annoying, but also like finally type. It was at the end when he finally kissed old girl,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was like,
Yeah.
well, about fucking time. Like his brother was trying to egg him. Basically, when they had that talk when he was about to die, he was like, "Love." Uh, however he phrased that shit, he said with the love phrase. I can't remember what he said in particular, but he basically said, in other words, I chose love. Can't nobody take that shit away from me. Basically,
Right.
hmm
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the scene that I'm gonna go with is, you guys mentioned it, the little seminar he goes to in New York City, and Brian Cox is on stage and he yells at him. But the scene, like, he's literally demeaning himself in his head, like, oh god, what am I doing here? I'm a fucking sellout. Like, I shouldn't be here. I'm a screenplay, like I am a screenwriter. Like, what am I doing here with all these people that don't know how to do this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And then Brian Cox, like, the camera like closes in on his face, and he goes, "And don't use fucking voiceovers. It's fucking
Yeah.
cheap." And, like, and if you notice, the rest of the movie, there's no voiceovers. That's when the voiceovers stop, right?
Mm.
So that little attention to detail again,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very fourth wall breaking. Um, and then when he goes, not my favorite scene, but after that, they go to have drinks, and he's explaining his ideas for this movie. Like Paris mentioned, he said, "This is what you got to do for a third act." He says,
Conflict,
he says,
drama.
"Don't use a Deus Ex Machina. Like, don't fucking do it." And what
Mm-hmm.
does he do? An alligator comes out of nowhere and saves
Yeah.
him. That's a Deus Ex Machina. And then how another strand that leads to is he finally calls his brother Donald and says, "Hey, could you come to New York and help me finish out the screenplay?" When they're in the room, that's when the third act starts, and that's when Donald takes over, and you get this more Hollywood style screenplay. The orchids are then used as a drug. You get a
Yeah.
chase. You get the them being held hostage with guns. You get this
Mm-hmm.
affair going on. It's when Donald takes over the movie that it actually has this conflict resolution. These stakes going on.
mm,
So yeah, like it is a very screenplay nerdy arc of a story. Understanding the pretext of when they plant these seeds earlier in the screenplay, and then how it
Mm-hmm.
actually pays off later on.
so in other words, you need to be educated on movies to understand the nuances that came apart because I
Yeah,
missed every last bit of that
well, no,
shit.
you are going to pick them up more if you understand how to. Like, this is a screenwriter's favorite movie, I'm sure. Like,
This sounds
they're
like a
going,
finals project. Like your
yeah.
teacher say, "Hey, watch this movie and pick out the shit I'm that we studied all year." That's because I would have got a whole F in this motherfucker.
All right, and what was another one? Now this is completely meta. I found this out after the fact. So there's a book called written by Philip K. Dick called A Scanner Darkly.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Kaufman wrote that screenplay, but it never got picked up. Right? It's
Ah.
it's it's another kind of trippy movie. I think it was made later on with like Keanu Reeves, um, back in like 2000, a long time ago. So, anyways, he wrote that screenplay, and it very much mirrors the screenplay that Donald talks about in his called The Three.
Mm-hmm.
Like that pretty much has elements from this screenplay that Charlie Kaufman wrote years before, but it never got made. So that's
Mm,
just another meta thing in there. Is if you
Yeah.
know about Charlie Kaufman, he's putting breadcrumbs of something that he wrote years before that never got picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I also want to point out that the scenes where they're talking, where they're on the set for Being John Malkovich, all
mm,
those actors for that movie came back and are essentially playing themselves as background characters. Like, you see the scene where
mm,
John Malkovich is standing there saying, "Hey guys, like, don't fuck up. Like, these people are suffering in these, rubber masks that look like me. Like, let's try to get this in one take." That
Yeah.
they literally brought him back and recreated that design set, that production set, and he's playing himself basically. And then the other actress, Catherine Keener, how she shows up every now and then. She was in Being John Malkovich, and she's playing herself basically. So
mm.
yeah, like it is a very meta, trippy movie. It is not. Uh, I understand it is not accessible at all. Like, there definitely is a little bit that you should know before you dive into this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
this should not be your first movie in a film class. Absolutely not.
No.
Like,
No, that's
like
why I
This
said
is
finals.
this
yeah,
is
That's why I
AP
said
class.
this is a
yeah.
finals project, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, like, when you do understand a little bit more, like, as far as the writing process, again, like, my dream job is to be in a writer's room, like, any level, film or television.
Right.
So going and knowing about the writing process, to me, this is a great movie. But I understand it is
Mm.
not exactly a watered down thing that everyone is going to understand or resonate with.
Didn't you
Yeah.
say this shit got a 90 at Rotten Tomatoes and a
It did.
7.7?
It
Yeah.
did.
I was
I'm
watching
looking at
this.
it.
I was watching this shit like, how the fuck? Like, there's got to be bot votes because what the fuck is
Bot
this? Like,
votes.
I was like, yeah, and obviously it's not because it was made in 2003. So, like you said, you have people who understand the film and understand the beauty of it. But if we gonna start the rating, that shit was trash. That shit was 0 stars. Truth be told,
Damn.
when you explained it, I give it a 1. Without my explanation, without the explanation of what you just gave, 0.
So 1 out of 5.
With your explanation,
Zero,
if
1 to
you want to
0
give
out
it a
of 5.
handicap, sure, it's a 1.
Okay.
But it's 0 for real.
Well, no. One is the lowest that we have on our scale. We don't have
All right,
0
well we can go
stars.
a half. It's a half a star, half a 1.
Okay. So James.
I'm gonna give it that. I'm gonna give that motherfucker a 1 too, bro. That with your explanation, I felt like I should have been up fully to watch that movie because it was parts that was had me. I'm like, all right.
As a film lover, you should be up for every movie that you see, good or bad.
Yes, but it made me sleepy. You
Okay.
feel me?
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
waiting for
that's
the
fair.
shit to. I
That's
knew it
fair.
was gonna be no fighting movie and no action, but I was
Yeah.
waiting for something to pick up, like pique my
Yeah.
interest, and nothing piqued my interest.
I
God
just
damn.
like some of the I really like the you know the lot of life lessons. You know what I'm saying? Happy isn't a life, it's just a moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that. And you know, motherfuckers that get so drawn into this is what I do, this is all I know. I'm never gonna leave this. And then old boy was just picking up and like, fuck it. I'm a swimmer now. I'm never touching water again. I'm a skydiver now. I'm doing this now. And he just move on. Like it was just cool with him. I feel like that was a full life in my
Yeah, he
eyes.
was
You
saying he
feel
was
me?
oblivious to everything
Yeah.
that he
Yeah,
said.
like I
I make
like
my
that type of
decisions.
shit.
Yeah,
Exactly. He living in his own world. He the main character of his life. So I get that. But then other than that, it just was like, all right, it's 2 hours of stuff, you know?
2 hours. Yeah. Uh, okay, so I'm going to. Uh,
5 star that bitch. I know you are.
I won't give it 5 stars. Because I mean, to me, like the actual like I like Spike Jonze, but I don't think this movie is directed that great. There's a couple shots in there that I'm not a fan of. But I will say, as far as the actors go and the casting choices, this
Mm-hmm.
is I fucking love Nicolas Cage. Like Nicolas Cage is a great actor, and you're seeing him play another version of himself, and he's got all the stuff going on in his head as well as the stuff going on, directly in front of him. So it's cool seeing him kind of play this, self-deprecating character that, is not your typical star of a movie, right?
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
is he is a loser. He is a loner. Like, and the thing is, the real Charlie Kaufman is not overweight and is not balding, but that's how he sees himself. So that's kind of like there's a lot of stuff with the script and the behind the scenes stuff going on with the studio and like how they didn't know the script was going on. That again, this is a special gem of a movie that you're never going to see again. They're like we mentioned Lord of the Rings, what's some other ones, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You're never going to see a movie like that again. Like
That was a low high key a good movie. I like
you're
that
never
one.
going to see a movie like this again. Like no studio is ever going to be like, hey, uh, oh, you're not going to show us a script. You're going to want another month. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We know how much movies are becoming more and more expensive to make.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no, give us the fucking script or you're out. Like,
yeah, for
like we got
sure.
500 million riding on this, right?
hmm
So, for me, this is a 4. The casting is great. The acting is great. Meryl Streep is excellent. I forget the actor's name. Was it Chris Coop? He plays LaRoche, the guy that has his teeth missing. He won an Academy Award
Mm-hmm.
for this. So yeah, I'm giving this a 4, but I also understand
This movie better than
handicap.
Acrimony.
Oh my god, dude, you want to talk? You want to
God,
talk? You want to talk about zeros? Acrimony would be a 0 for me.
This movie was ass, bro.
Nah, and the
Ass.
numbers back that up. That nah, it's not.
I don't know
Oh,
who the fuck.
And you
I
said
don't
it
know.
yourself. It's not bots.
Only because I'm giving it the date, but shit, let this shit that came out in 2024. This should have been a
No,
negative
if this came out in
rotten.
2024, it would be an A24 movie, and it would be an industry darling.
Hell no.
Fuck no.
Yeah. All right.
It would be one of them A24 movies. I
Yeah.
will tell you that.
This
But
is like Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie
no,
they
hell
said was
no, hell no.
that one they said, oh, this is a dog shit movie, dog shit premise. But the way they did that movie, it's
That was a
excellent.
good movie though. But
That's how this one would be
it would have
perceived.
been one of them festival movies. You would have saw that got like 3 of them little trophies and shit. You know,
No.
because it's so artsy. I'm gonna be honest.
I
You
know
know
what
what I'm
you're
saying?
talking about.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that shit would have never seen the light of day after that. That shit is ass, bro.
I feel
But
only movie
you are
buffs,
different though. You are very different.
True movie critics would love this movie.
Yes.
I would consider myself a casual. Y'all are above me because y'all watch every movie under the sun. Me as a casual, this shit is a negative. You said I can't go less than a 0 or less than a 1. This should have been beyond. This would have been dog trash. This should have been beyond. I would have if I have the possibility to go online and delete this bitch off the internet. If I could do that, this should have never seen the light of day from nobody ever again.
Damn.
But you're saving.
This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my fucking life, and like I said until you explained it.
Okay, hold on.
This made me feel like a dumbass when you explained it because I ain't getting none of that shit. This was like, what the fuck? I'm literally up like this at 10 o'clock. Okay. 10:30, I'm like,
okay.
11 o'clock, I'm like, God, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, this could not be a 90 out of. I was like, is this? I swear to God, I went back on my phone and said, no, this cannot be the movie he said. This is adaptation.
It is.
I looked at it. I was like, no, dog shit.
I respect it. And
you said this shit is worse than better than Acrimony?
Yes, Acrimony's dog shit.
That's tough. Oh my God.
See, Acrimony is more entertaining to you. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say it's dumbed down, but shit, I guess I needed it because this was like, what the fuck?
Okay. So
this was like PhD level of movie watching if it's a 90 out of 100.
Okay. So I'm calling an audible, right? If you guys allow me for the next movie selection, right? I'm going to go with the movie that is touted as one of the worst movies ever made.
Yes.
It's called
Kung Fu.
It's called The Room. Written, directed, and starring Tommy Wiseau. You guys don't know who that is. Have you ever seen this movie?
No, I'm gonna see. Hold on.
It's going to be a picture of a man with a droopy eye. The Room.
I have heard about this. They said it's so bad it's good.
We're going to watch The Room if you guys are down for it.
On top of the comedy romance. That was made in 2003.
Yeah.
Damn, said 3.6 out of 10.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yes.
All right.
I have heard he did so many takes in this movie that it was parts where he had come in with the water bottle, and then it was parts he had come in with not the water bottle. They'd be like, fuck it, just blend it. Just let it happen. Let it happen.
It's based on this book called The Disaster Artist. Tommy Wiseau, the movie was basically picked up and made by James Franco and his brother. James Franco here is playing Greg Sestero. He's the one that wrote the movie, or wrote the book about the movie. It is highly touted as one of the worst movies ever made. Like, it has a cult following because it's so bad. This guy never made a movie before. He got his SAG card because he owned a little place in California that sold clothes. And you can get your SAG card if you produce anything that has like actual production in it. Mm-hmm. He produced his own commercial for his place that sold clothes. And no one knows where this guy got this money. He has money to throw away to make a whole movie. Doesn't tell anyone how he got the money. The dude is the most enigmatic, weirdest person you'll ever read about. And he wrote this movie. They did a lot of it on the spot. That's the next movie, The Room by Tommy Wiseau.
I'm watching it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how bad this one really is compared to The Room.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't feel nothing can get worse than an adaptation. That's literally the worst shit I ever seen.
I'm so looking forward to this next one because I honestly, like, I'm one of those ones that enjoy watching The Room because it is so ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what you guys got to say about it. It'll be a fun one.
You said you enjoy watching The Room. You didn't say you enjoy watching the adaptation.
Again, this is also because I watched this in film school. This was something that we watched, and we tear this apart. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, y'all should have
Right.
shredded Adaptation then. That,
All right.
I ain't gonna
All
front.
right.
Acrimony? Okay.
For 115 subscribers, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, share.
Whole bunch of stuff. No gang stuff.
Why aren't you sharing the shit with your friends? How about that, guys?
Yeah,
Not
share
you.
that shit.
Not you are.
If you was a real one, you'll be
followers.
sharing it. But the ones
Yeah.
who are sharing it, I love you. I love you.
Cause when we blow up, y'all was the day ones.
Yeah.
And we
Where's
will
our
blow up.
bots?
Yeah, where the fuck is our bots at?
We
right,
stopped
y'all.
paying for it.
Sure. Don't say that.
The $5 is hitting after a minute. Like, oh shit.
Tell your whole family about the podcast. Everybody.
Yeah. All right,
Make
y'all.
them watch it on every TV in your house.
We are good on time. This has been Off the Top with Eric Pearson Red. I'm one of your hosts, Eric, and joining me tonight, as always, were
Your boy P.
And your boy Red.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you guys next week. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. Don't watch Adaptation.
How are you? Acrimony, though, dude.